Today, we are going to go to
We cannot hear you, Professor.
okay, sorry. My son was bugging me a little bit. 1 second. So yesterday, what we did was we actually studied biometric. We saw some challenges, but today we are going to focus more on the challenges of biometric. Yesterday, we saw what it is and how we are using that every day, right? So as we are using something, I'm sure Isabel is using biometric on her phone to log in or log out, right? Something like that, facial recognition. And we learn all this stuff yesterday. We're gonna refresh briefly just to know where we are going. And then after that, we are going to study the challenges at the end. I'll give you some quizzes again, just to make sure we are on the same page, right? Because the way I learn the most is by giving you questions. That's the way I learn. And we practice like multiple choice question as we usually do. And if you have any question, please stop me, right? And last time we studied about phishing email, and everybody knows how to pay attention to those emails now. Look at the URL at your individual level. Don't click on every link that you see. It could be something malicious. It could be something that is harmful, you know. So just be alert. It's very good to know. So we saw the connection between finance and cybersecurity is actually our data. And the data is go why? Because we are using data everywhere. Shopping, they have your data, everything that you're doing. And sometimes they So as a lot of people, maybe you don't know, they're studying your data, they study the behavior, they do data mining. Sometimes when you are going shopping, they study the behavior of customers. This customer is likely to like this, and then that's how they advertise. You see marketing, they will send you stuff just because you view one thing. So data is the new gold. That's actually why I put it there. Data is the new gold. Data is everywhere, and even your information, right? And we saw also that data will be obtained by the exchange that you have. Sorry again. So the details of your purchases, all those are called data. Anything that you are dealing with money, credit cards, anything, account information, right? Everything is, those are your data, and then they can use that. Sorry, guys. I have someone here. If I don't give him something, we are not going to proceed today. So, let me put something. It didn't change, right? So what data is, we study that is coming from various sources. So let's go cybersecurity, we define this, and the data could be also obtained on in cybersecurity via the network traffic, like people who are joining our network at the same time as we are joining the same network. We could obtain those information, and those information are called data, right? So let's hello, Alicia, thank you for joining. So we define that cybersecurity is actually you have a whole in securing digital data, everything that we're doing on internet, right? So cybersecurity is mostly related to our electronic environment, right? So we conclude, and we saw that the importance of data protection could be something from our level, from our, for individual at our own level. It's very important for us to make sure that our information are protected, because it can help us to avoid financial loss, identity protection, protection from cyberbullying, right? And also to preserve the digital legacy. If you have a business, if you don't protect people information, customer information, we saw that it can harm your company, right? So it's very important. So our awareness is important. We study how to respond to cyberbullying, always report the incident to a trusted adult or to the authority, right? And we saw also that creating a unique password could help, right? Against cyberbullying, it will help you, or help actually for people not to enter your account or even your bank account. So always good not to use those weak password, if I can say it like that, right? Create something strong with add exclamation mark, something that could be meaningful, but at the same time that is that someone cannot just recognize it, even someone related to you, right? We saw also that cybersecurity is necessary for everyone, not only large business, but also small businesses. Everyone should be aware and try to protect at your individual level. If you are careful, even if someone hire you in his company to work, you will be careful. Why? Because it's an habit. You know about it, and you will be educating also other people. Sorry, guys. So awareness is very important. Why? Because it's essential for preventing security incident, right? So yesterday we studied about biometric, what it is, and how it can also affect financial institution. There are actually challenges that they're going through, and we knowing at our level will help us to be more careful in everything that we are doing. Even the choice of biometric that you're using to, it's just knowledge that I want to give you, so that everywhere that you go, because I know everyone is using at least maybe a bank, even if you don't have a bank, you have someone who is using a bank, and everyone is actually trying to use biometric. But it's also important to understand that there are challenges. So we studied this. I know Kisbel was not there. Alicia was there with Fred. And we asked this question: why is it important in securing our financial transaction and in enhancing our cybersecurity skill, right? So there are a lot of different forms of biometric. So we saw that biometric help in securing financial transaction, enhancing cybersecurity, right? They are physical and behavioral characteristics that uniquely identify humans, right? Typically used for authentication. Sometimes you want to get on your phone, it's used to authenticate, right? To make sure it's you, right? And how do they do it? They do it by matching, compare query data to a previously stored template. I mean, the first time that you are putting your information in, that's what we call template. Now, the second time when you're coming, they try to match you to what was there before. So that now they decide if Fred is a genuine match to what was there in the system. They look at their database, they see the match, and now they say, okay, that's there are matches that are not, if it's not matching exactly, it will be suspicious. And sometimes they will ask you for maybe to call them to make some special suspicion. They can even lock your account. So when we talk about biometrics, guys, we are referring here about uniqueness and permanence, right? Uniqueness means what? A biometric should be able to distinguish between two people. Even if you are twins, right? It should be different. Why? Because your fingerprint is not the same as your twin. So it should be something unique to everyone. That's actually why a lot of people are using that. Why? Because the face is not the same, the iris is not the same, the finger is not the same. So it should also be permanent. And yesterday we saw that when we talk about permanence, it's just that it should not change much. Even if you are aging, you are getting old, right? It should not change that much. You should not be like, oh, because I'm old now, everything. Yeah, but there are so stuff happening. Also, there are also challenges like someone working hard, like doing some hard work. Sometimes they lose their fingerprint because their hands is doing a lot. So I heard some cases like that, but very minimal. But those are also challenges, right? So this is actually how it function. We have, are you who you say you are? And it try to identify, are you someone who the system previously recognized, right? I think someone understand what I'm trying to say here, right? Isabel, you know
Yes.
how, you understand, right?
Yeah, I get it because, we use that every time.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, so this is a very easy topic. I like it because it's something that everyone's mostly, unless you are in the old generation that you refuse to, but anyways, people are using biometrics. Either they are different, we're gonna see them. So these are example of biometric that we have: fingerprint, palm print, face, iris, retina, ear, voice, signature, gate, hand, vein, odor. There are some here that we don't use, right, because we are not in the field. But DNA, if you go maybe in the field of forensic science, there are some that they're using there. And biometrics are used in different domains, very different different field. And the face, we know that. Iris, we know that because we do the fingerprint. Those are stuff that we know. And even the voice, but there are some stuff, like maybe the vein or the other, they are also fingerprint, but it's mostly used in some other, maybe sometimes they train even a dog to recognize some other. And then when the dog recognize that or he knows that, okay, this one is this is, there are some stuff happening, so this is just an example of biometric. Yes, everybody knows this. Sometimes you go to buy something and then they want your fingerprint, right? The iris is the eyes, right? And it work with most of them, this components of the of this is of the biometrics. It work with the sensor, so it feature instructor, and then sometimes you send if it's the first time, it will go and stay in the database. The second time that you come, it will try to query and see, do we have something matching like this, like this one? And then if you say yes, you send it, okay, it validates. So biometric in finance ensure a higher level of security by using unique physical traits for user identification, right? Biometric authentication adds an extra layer of protection to financial transaction, reducing what? The risk of unauthorized access. So it's just an extra level of protection. We are using that every day. Maybe we don't know why you are using that, but at the level of researchers or people who implemented that, they saw that, oh, this is a good way to, instead of putting just password, someone can guess your password or stand behind you and see that you are which password you are using, or maybe someone guess your password. This one is unique, is permanent also. It could add an extra layer of security. Why not trying this? You see, so it didn't just come just as we see, okay, it came, but that was a lot of research, people going and searching and seeing, even to study biology, because biometry come from, it's biology is the study of the human being, right? So we have to, and is studying someone life is alive, right? Because we don't take biometric of people who are dead. So it's something with life, human being. They study, and they came up with this. But is it perfect? There are challenges. We're gonna see those challenges today. So the importance of biometric in cybersecurity is strengthen cybersecurity by providing a reliable method for user authentication and access control, right? It play also a key role in, I did not send this to slideshow. It plays also a key role in ensuring that only those are authorized can access those sensitive information, right? Does someone have any question regarding this? You understand it, right? Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, Fred. Okay, well, in cybersecurity, biometrics strengthen cybersecurity by providing a reliable method. Yes, we study about the user. So there are challenges in finances like regulatory compliance. We studied that yesterday. Why? Because it's something that people need to agree. People need to comply, because it's dealing with humans. It's dealing with people who can say, no, I don't want this, or maybe regulation from countries who can say, I don't want this product. I think it's not safe for the population, or maybe that's too much collecting information from people. We studied this GDPR, which is mostly in Europe, right? When a product is made in the US, before it cross the border, especially in Europe, they have also regulations. So there are also challenges there. Or we saw also that spoofing and data theft, biometric are susceptible to spoofing attacks, and protecting biometric data from theft is what a major concern. Identifying and addressing vulnerabilities in biometric system is crucial to prevent unauthorized access. I don't know if Gisbel can answer this question, and then we will now go through all the questions that we had yesterday.
What is the primary purpose of using biometrics in financial services? So I would say C, strengthening security in transactions.
Okay, good. She got it right, right? This one, just to refresh your mind, I'm sure you know all this. Isabel, go ahead.
You said to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Which of the following is a potential challenge in integrating biometric authentication with existing financial systems? I would say number B, regulatory compliance.
Yes, that's actually what we just saw, right? So the next question, what is spoofing? Any idea?
What does the term spoofing refer to in the context of biometrics? That I forgot. Let me see.
Any
Improving
guess?
security.
Spoofing is actually creating fake biometric data, so when
Oh,
some
creative.
yes, when someone refers to spoofing, it's just like they are trying to create something fake regarding the biometric data. So which regulatory framework is often cited as a challenge in the use of biometry is GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation, right? Let's go fast. In cybersecurity, what role does biometric play in access control? Yesterday, we saw that is actually helping to authenticate the users. Yes, access control, right? Authenticate, make sure that the user is who he said he is, or who is supposed to be before we authenticate, before we give him the permission, right? So let's go over the challenges. Studying biometry can present various challenges due to what? The complexity and also involving nature of the field. These are some challenges that we're going to see today, right? So we have challenges in technological advancement. I want someone to read for us so that I can give you the opportunity to participate, right? Alicia want to read, or Fred?
I'll read.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Some challenges in biometrics. Technological advancements. Biometric technology is constantly evolving, and staying updated with the latest advancements can be challenging for students. Example, keeping pace with emerging biometric technology such as facial recognition algorithms that constantly improve accuracy and efficiency. Staying updated with advancements in deep learning for facial recognition, which involves understanding complex neural network architectures and training methodologies.
Okay. What is the slide about? Can you explain what you understood by the challenges that are going on in it, like technological advancement, right? Here they are actually trying to say it's always good to stay updated, right? Things are changing, right? And we have algorithm, we have a lot of stuff that are getting improved every day. So this is a challenge because when something is permanent, you know it's permanent. It will never change. But when you deal with softwares that need to be improved every time, you need to know that you need to update yourself. You need to update the software. And sometimes there are challenges, right? The technologies is getting improved every day. There are a lot of stuff happening out there, you know, a lot of devices are getting created with different type of software, and we need to stay updated. So it's a challenge. Isabel, you understand what it means?
Yes, it's just like you said, like
Mm.
technology is really evolving. So every time that we have to, comply to and just, keep up to date of.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. So let's go to the next challenge that we have. The next challenge is interdisciplinary nature. Biometric involve what? Knowledge from various disciplines such as computer science, statistics, and biology. Integrating these diverse concepts can be challenging. Once again, this little one is. If you change it, you're gonna. So someone else want to read the example that we put there. Here is just talking about the different field that we have in which are actually using biometrics. We have computer science, statistics, biology, forensic science, right? So someone read the example.
I read.
Yes, thank you, Kisbel.
Already says example, integrating computer science algorithms with biological understanding to develop a reliable fingerprint recognition system. You
Yes. Yeah, continue, please.
Integrating principles of signal processing, pattern recognition, and anatomy to design a robust hand gesture recognition system that involves both computer science and biological concepts.
Yes. Do you understand what it means?
Well, it's just saying that I think it takes just more than one thing, like to create
As
biometrics. It's just like a mix of different,
Phil.
right, correct.
Yeah, Phil. So this is one example, right? I could easily understand this because I have a diverse background, right? When I was a hostess community college, I was studying like liberal art and science. So now, if you, I went to the Grove School of Engineering. I studied there biomedical engineering, right? So there I learned biology, engineering, and that's a lot of combination of engineering and biology Why? Because in order to take care of maybe someone, let's say a patient who need a wheelchair, this is just an example for you to understand. You need to understand the weight. That's kind of engineering part. And now you need to understand how the body works, the body mechanism, the legs and stuff like that. This is biology. So when they say there are challenges in biometric, why? Because biometric is not just one field. There are software involved. That means computer science is involved. Later on I study software engineering, right? So you see a lot of combination between biomedical engineering, and now software engineering, and now I'm in cybersecurity. You see? So now when it comes to when they need someone in a company, sometimes they say, we want someone who understands biology. We also want someone who understands software. We also want someone who knows about cybersecurity. So it's actually what the challenge is coming to. So in biometric now, if you're a student, you just study nursing, and then you don't know anything about software, you don't know anything about programming. So when I'm just taking an example so that you see how even when you are doing one field, this workshop is actually very important for you. Why? Because you are exploring finance, you're exploring cybersecurity, you are opening your mind, right? Because tomorrow you can end up not in mechanical engineering, not in nursing, but in something else. Why? Because you took a workshop in cybersecurity that draw your attention, and then you went and do some more research and you learn on your own. And now you can put that on your resume and say, okay, so now then in biometrics, sometimes it's hard to find someone who have that kind of skills. Fingerprint, you need to know how the body function. What are those palms print that are they? How are they functioning? You know, it's not only that you understand the fingerprint, you understand how the eyes is focusing, those kind of focus, you understand physics, but maybe you don't understand anything in software. Sometimes it's hard to have someone with a diverse background who can actually help. So it's actually a challenge also, even to hire people, because maybe you see someone who is just good in computer science, but in biology, he doesn't know anything. But biometric is about the human being, right? It's taking facial recognition, it's taking the eyes, the palms, and all those stuff. Those are the parts of the body. So that's why the anatomy. So you need to understand the anatomy of the body. You need to understand the eyes. How is it focusing? So in order to design something that will be perfect, we need that kind of background. We need those kind of people. We need, some people who even understand finance, because you need to understand also finance to understand how information in the finance world is made, right? Is someone understanding my point, what I'm trying to say? Yes?
Yes, I agree. You're saying you can't be a one-trick pony.
Exactly, yes. Alicia, any question? So sometimes get the knowledge everywhere. Don't just limit yourself. Don't just say, no, I want to be a nurse. Okay, that's it. Okay, so what you guys are doing is very, very great to learn from different sources. It could help you. They could be looking for someone who just have that knowledge that you have right now, who just understand about cybersecurity, and that person will be you, or you have the advantage compared to someone who just took the regular classes and nothing else, right? Yes. So it's just an example among all many examples, just for you to understand what I'm trying to bring up, right? Also challenges in ethical concern. Someone else want to read? Alicia? Alicia is there? Yes. Good. Alicia is there? Okay, Fred, read for us, please.
Ethical concerns. Issues related to privacy, data security, and ethical considerations in collecting and using biometric data need careful consideration. Example, Balancing the need for security with concerns about user privacy when implementing biometric access control in public spaces. Implementing a workplace biometric system like fingerprint scanning while ensuring that employees' biometric data is securely stored and used only for its intended purpose, avoiding any unauthorized access or misuse.
Okay, thank you. You understand? You guys understand what this slide is about, or someone wants to try to explain to others?
I think that like you said, the balancing for the security pretty much helps biometric for all people, you know. So yeah.
So here is mostly the user privacy, right? Privacy, the data privacy, the confidentiality, all those kind of stuff you don't share, you know. So the example says implementing a workplace biometric system like fingerprint scanning. And it's not only that, but you need to ensure that employees' biometric data is what? Securely stored and used only for its intended purpose. Just imagine you're working somewhere, they say, okay, in order to log in the morning or sign in, you need to put your biometric. Everyone agree. That's fine. All right. And now you find out later on that the information that they're using, they are taking from employees is not just for you to sign in. They are selling that to another company for them to do something or study data mining, and they are actually selling that. You will not be happy. So when we talk about ethical concern is the data security. You said is only to sign in at work or to sign out or sign whatever, but you now behind the scene, you are using that for another purpose. That's not right. That's not correct. And that's actually what is happening out somewhere in a lot of stuff. When you sign into a website, sometimes they sell your data to another website and say, oh, we have data, and people, because they are out about data, and sometimes you just find yourself, someone just email you. How do they get your email? You just remember, okay, I went to this website and I signed up for this course, or maybe for a tutoring online. Now they sell your information. They sell your information to another company. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So the ethical concern is all the companies have to sign up. If you are collecting fingerprints, anything concerning biometrics, make sure that it stay at that level. Don't share people information to other companies. That's not ethical. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Good, Fred? Right? Even the way we store the data, because you can store it and think that you store it well. The receipt, sometimes they collect your receipt, they give you one when you are using your credit card, and sometimes they just leave it there. They don't store it how it's supposed to be stored. They don't destroy it. They don't shred it. Sometimes they have machine to shred it. Sometimes they don't do that, right? Ethically, it's not correct. Why? Because if you expose someone data and someone have access to it, it's not good. Why? Because someone can steal those information and go and maybe grab something in the and just swipe that card and maybe just put the numbers and then get access to more information about the person. But that was not why the person came to your company. He just came to buy maybe a ball of something, or maybe ice cream. You went to the shop, you use your credit card. So they give you a receipt and then they keep the other copy. But ethically, they are not storing those receipts the way they're supposed to store, right? And if someone have access to it, what is going to happen? The customer information are out, right? So ethical concern are actually also challenges when we come to biometric. Why? Because everyone, some people are not aware that their information are just going out. for us that we are learning, it's good to know that those are challenges that they are going through. And sometimes it's just to educate people, educate those business people, educate those people who are small businesses, education, make them aware that as they are taking people credit cards, as they are receiving people information, biometrics or anything that the person used, they have to secure it in a good way, right? Not exposing. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to add that would
Mm-hmm.
that be so part of the perhaps companies or people like do not invest in good like cybersecurity, right? Because sometimes it's not like they would do that on purpose, but sometimes they prefer not to invest for a good
Mm-hmm.
quality, I mean a good cybersecurity, and they end
Yes.
up, doing bad, something bad to
Exactly.
other people.
Yes, yes. Why? Because sometimes they think that is very expensive, but there are sometimes I receive emails that you there's a complaint against this company that you used like 5 years ago. There's the information of the customer who bought something during this period of time were not securely handled, and there's a code on them. I don't even know. Sometimes they say, okay, those who were a hack, or their information were put outside, they will receive maybe 100 or 200, some stuff like that. But at that time, you don't know. Sometimes it's just because they don't want to invest, as you said. They don't want to invest in getting maybe their network secure, or maybe getting workshop, because even those workshops that we are doing, very important. You can hire someone just to educate your employees, educate people. And sometimes they say they don't have money, but the consequences are very costly compared to maybe making sure that your employees are educated, right? So we have standardization, which is what the lack of standardization or standardized protocol and methodologies across different biometric systems can make it difficult to compare and evaluate their performance objectively. Example, comparing the performance of different fingerprint recognition systems become challenging when there are no standardized metric for evaluation. So this is actually how to say, okay, I have my device, I made this. We are the best company, GE Healthcare. We have another big company, and now, but it's just like, okay, my device that I made is better than yours. How is it better than yours? Those kind of challenges, right? Is to compare the accuracy, and there's some challenges like that. So it's nothing much, but it's also a challenge to say which one is better. That one is better. This one is more, just competition and stuff like that. So we have data quality. I'll let Fred read this one.
The quality of biometric data can be affected by factors such as environmental conditions, sensor quality, and the physiological or behavioral characteristics of individuals. Example, environmental conditions affecting the accuracy of iris recognition, such as poor lighting or reflection on the camera lens. Example, environmental factors such as variations in lighting conditions or changes in an individual's fingerprint due to aging or injury can affect the quality of collected biometric data, impacting the accuracy of the system.
Mm. You guys understand what this slide is about? I can go and explain, but I want you to let me know what you understand.
I understand, like they're saying like the lighting can change how your eye may receive
Yes.
into the biometrics and all,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just certain things that can definitely change
Mm-hmm.
things.
I want to say that it could be the same as when you're like, for instance, you have an iPhone and you're trying to like, to log in, for instance, let's say your financial, oh my God, application, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you see that sometimes it happened to me that I cannot log in. It's like Face ID is failed. Like it failed to
Mm-hmm.
recognize my face. But then I take another, I just do another pose or just go to the light or whatever, and then it recognized me. So I don't know if that's the same thing like as data quality.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So sometimes it's as those are just challenges, environmental challenges, and even devices, as you said, the iPhone, right? It could be, and sometimes you recognize someone, sometimes it doesn't recognize you. Sometimes it's just like, okay, try again many times. Then sometimes they say, okay, put your password again. So those
Right.
are those are just challenges. And we have also aging, injury, you're aging, those kind of stuff can happen. The quality could be altered or maybe altered, the quality could be not as intended. Why? Because of the lighting condition, the change in the person fingerprint, the person have an injury, the person got burned, right?
I would say,
So
or you could even get a cut in your finger. That could change it too.
exactly, yes, 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 very good example also, yes. So the system, because it's just a system, it just function as, okay, if this person do like this, but there's some stuff that happen, but the system is not a human being for you to say, okay, I have this. So those are challenges, right? Very good to understand. So, Kisbel, this one you are going to read, the lack of databases.
All right. Lack of databases. Availability of comprehensive and diverse biometric databases for research and testing purposes is limited, making it challenging to conduct through throughout experiments. Example, limited availability of diverse datasets for researching gait recognition systems, hindering the development of more robust algorithms. Developing a reliable gait recognition system becomes challenging when there is scarcity of diverse gait datasets, hindering the ability to train and test algorithms comprehensively.
Okay, good. Did you understand, guys, what this is?
So
Yes?
are they referring to gait as far as like how someone walks?
Yes.
Okay, so like where would they be testing that?
This is a complicated field. I saw one example. They were trying to draw someone is working, and then, I think it's maybe forensic science is using this kind of stuff, but I'll do some research and check where or how they're using that, because I'm very familiar with the fingerprint and the iris, but gait recognition, let's just see how this works. It's a type of behavioral biometric authentication that recognizes and verifies people by their walking style and space. So
That
they do a gait analysis. I'm not sure let's see how they test, how it works, the system and the algorithm. We have it here. A person gait is as unique as their voice timbre. Using this knowledge, gait recognition technology was created based on machine learning algorithm. Machine learning-based system can identify a person from an image even if their face is out of view, turn away from the camera, or concealed behind a mask. So there's a lot of The system analyzes the silhouette, height, speed, and walking characteristics and identify the individual from a database. This technique is more convenient than retinal scanners or fingerprints in public places, as it is unobstructed. Moreover, gait recognition is unlikely to be outsmarted. Every person gait has no duplicates. So they capture the gait data, the silhouette segmentation, the contour detection, feature extraction and classification, right? So they take all that and then they analyze. So what was your question? I'm gonna check it out here in Fred.
No, I was seeing like how were they utilizing gait recognition. So I guess you said it, but
Machine
it's
learning. So
kind of
they try.
creepy.
Yes, I'm not familiar with this one. That's why I knew I saw some videos, but I was not really sure how. When a person walks, it is possible to observe around 24 individual parameters and movement that form the uniqueness of the gait. So they have machine learning, recognition, making sure maybe it recognize all the parts of the movement. And yeah, it's maybe an area that we need to explore more, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. That is
Yes,
something.
it's very interesting. I'm seeing a lot of good stuff here, but it's biometric, yeah. Also, there's a lack of databases, availability of comprehensive and diverse biometric databases for research and testing purpose is limited. Yes, there are not a lot of places where they can do the research. Even like this one is kind of difficult compared to others, I think. Limited availability of diverse data set for researching gait recognition system. Yeah, I think that's why they say it's limited. There's limited availability. Why? Because this one need to get people, have them maybe walk, and then they are capturing images and stuff like that, right? So that's why they say it's becoming challenging when there is a scarcity of diverse gait data sets. Yeah. I think it's a challenge because it's not easy to implement this kind of stuff. Varying user acceptance. The acceptance of biometric system by user varies, and factors such as cultural differences and personal preferences can impact the adoption of these technologies. Example, cultural resistance to using facial recognition technology in certain society due to concern about government sovereignty. Someone is familiar with this? Is someone familiar with this?
I just heard at school that some people they don't like you know, like with the AI thingy all
Mm-hmm.
around, some people they don't like this, and that's why
Yes.
many people still like analogs because
Mm,
they don't really like for instance, they say that the government is using their
the
face or stuff
information,
to
exactly.
get information and stuff like that.
Yeah, some other people they think is their culture is not accepting. Some people cover their face. Some people, they are kind of, some people they don't accept because they think that every like they have your face. People are saying that the government have your face. Now they want your fingerprint, and now what else? They have your numbers. They have this, so they can control you. So some people they like. I prefer to type my password every time. I will never use that Face ID. Why? Because they have, as you just mentioned, they like, I'm careful about this, right? But it's up to everyone. That's why sometimes they don't force people. You just, if you think that it's convenient for you, just use it, right? So it's a challenge for people accepting something that just came out. It's not everybody who accepted this at the same uh, um, at the same rate. Some people just jump on it. Some people like, oh, it's not simple. It's not, they are collecting our information. They want to control us. They want our faith. They want to make sure, we don't know, but are you guys using are you using or you're not using it? Fred, you using biometrics?
Yes, I do, but just like you said, there's a lot of things that I can agree with. How a lot of people feel that it's an invasion of privacy. I mean,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
especially, I remember in the day. Well, for instance, I remember 9/11 happened and things
Yes.
changed dramatically after 9/11, and I could see to some degree how that opened the door to an invasion of all of our privacy after that
Yes.
moment. So I don't think that it's really far fetched. I mean, it's unfortunate that there's nothing really that you can do about it because this is where
Yes.
society is going.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. So yeah, that's why we gotta get our education, and hopefully you make it to a place where you don't have to be under surveillance all the time, because that's what it is. And they wean it in as, oh, it's security. But I mean, at a certain point, I mean, people are have too much security. You got cameras in your house, outside your house, so at all times you're under surveillance. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes,
crazy.
yes. Yes, that's a very good point. That's amazing actually. So we have to be careful also the way we're using AI. I will not say be scared, but everybody need to get to the point that you are free to do it. If you say yes, it's your will. But if you say no, they should not go to the point that they force you, right? That just imagine in maybe 2045, and they say everyone need to do like that facial recognition. Otherwise, you cannot log in on your phone. People will be like, why? Right? Because that's also attempting to touch the freedom of a lot of people. So they have to make it not mandatory, but just present it the way it is and let people choose, because people just want to protect their privacy, right? So the other challenge that we have here is the security concern. Kisbel, want to read this one?
Yes, security concerns. Biometric systems might face security threats such as spoofing, tampering, or hacking attempts. Developing robust security measures is crucial. Example, the risk of fingerprint spoofing using synthetic materials or 3D printing to replicate fingerprints and deceive the system.
Mm-hmm.
Developing anti-spoofing mechanisms, such as incorporating liveness detection in facial recognition systems to prevent unauthorized access using facial images or videos.
Well, yes. So the security concern is one of the major challenge, right? We have spoofing, like people trying to create data that are fake, or biometric data that are fake, right? Tampering, hacking attempts, right? So we, or maybe you, no, I would say we, because you are studying and you in your career, or what you are intend to do is always to develop a robust security measure. It's very important in every film, or you are an engineer tomorrow, whatever you're gonna be, to put that to put that aspect in mind. That's very important. And people are using now 3D printing as the slide is showing to replicate fingerprint and to deceive the system. Sometimes they can try to mimic or try to do robots, right? So those are stuff that we have to know and know that nothing is perfect. Don't just say, oh, I'm using this, it's perfect, security is secure. So nothing is really perfect, right? Okay. So we have the cost. Fred, want to read this one? We're almost done. Let's read.
Costs. Implementing biometric systems can be expensive both in terms of hardware and software, which might limit accessibility for certain applications. Example, implementing a biometric authentication system such as retina scanning in a large organization requires a substantial investment in specialized hardware. Implementing a biometric attendance system using retina scanning involves costs associated with acquiring specialized hardware, maintaining the system, and training personnel to use the technology.
Mm-hmm. So it's something that is costly. Someone you cannot just say, okay, I want to implement this, it's there's cost involved, right? You want to do it well, cost is involved. That's all I can say, right? Algorithm complexity. Understanding and implementing complex algorithm for feature extraction, matching, and decision-making can be challenging for students with varying level of mathematical and programming expertise. Example that is I put here, designing complex algorithm for voice recognition that accurately differentiate between similar sounding voices. Designing complex machine learning algorithm for voice recognition, considering factors like accent variation and environmental noise to achieve accurate and reliable results, right? So the algorithm is always or becoming complex every time. Why? Because the voice, even for voice recognition, everyone have his own accent, those are variation that make the algorithm very complex, or the designer, those people who are there are constantly updating or changing. Why? Because if the voice just it's not constant, it's just like, okay, let's do this, it will work for everybody. Everybody have a different voice, right? And sometimes the voice that you have in the morning sometimes is different from the same voice you have when you eat well. So yeah, stuff also like that, right? So it's a challenge. Someone understand this?
Yes, well, it has to be. I think it's just, I thought it was like a general thing for
Mm-hmm.
everybody, but as seeing now, it's hard to get to the point where the machine or the biometrics like get
Mm-hmm.
like that like adopts like that flexibility to understand or
Mm-hmm.
everybody. So yes.
Exactly, yes. It's complex. Sometimes they have different algorithm trying to identify, especially people who speak this particular language, their accent and stuff like that. But it's a challenge to get everyone, not like individually, but at least the majority. So we have also legal and regulatory framework, which the example I put here is the General Data Protection Regulation requirement, right? Adhering to the GDPR requirements when implementing a fingerprint recognition system in an organization, ensuring transparent data processing practices and obtaining explicit consent from individual, right? I tell you that different countries have their own regulation. If you want to sell your device in the US, maybe you can have to deal with the FDA and stuff like that. Now, if you have a biometric device that you want to sell in Europe, there are some regulation. You cannot just say, oh, I'm selling my device everywhere. There are regulation. They can check, they can test, they can see if it's not going to harm. There are people, they will study if you did your testing, if you follow their guideline, stuff like that, right? They have requirements. You have to agree. If you don't agree, they will not allow you to, and maybe people will not like to use it just because it's something from the US. Sometimes they have personal issues, political issues, and stuff like that. So we have legal and regulatory framework challenges as well, right? So we have also the cultural sensitivity. Biometric system may need to consider cultural factors influencing personal identification method and designing systems that respect diverse cultural practice can be challenging. Design a facial recognition system that respects cultural norms regarding facial covering in certain region or community. So it's very important to develop a facial recognition systems that allow for cultural variation in facial coverings, such as headscarf or veil, without compromising the system accuracy or effectiveness. So just imagine someone who who is covering herself, especially women, right? And the eyes, the only part you can see. So now they have to design something that will recognize that person. Sometimes it will not take the face, but just the eyes. So, and something also that we should design without compromising the accuracy or effectiveness. Someone understand what this slide is about, correct? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, it's really simple. So let's take some questions, right? Okay, I'll go with Fred. Fred will read the first question before we wrap up, just to refresh our mind about what we saw yesterday. Tomorrow we will have more concerning the challenges and stuff like that. Fred, you want to try this one, please?
Okay. In cybersecurity, what role does biometrics play in access control? A. Identifying malware. B. Authenticating users. C. Encrypting data. D. Monitoring network traffic. B.
B,
Authenticating
yes.
users.
Yes, you said this. What is a potential vulnerability associated with biometric systems? Kisbel, want to try?
Let's see. A, strong resistance to spoofing. B, limited data storage requirements. C, susceptibility to data theft. D, rapid response to system updates. A potential vulnerability. Let me see.
What is a potential vulnerability associated
I think it's between B and B. Limited
with rapid response to system updates? Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Let's see, susceptibility to data theft. Why? Because when we talk about vulnerability, it's like, is your system vulnerable? They are saying what is a potential vulnerability associated, the theft of information is something that we actually working to remediate, to solve when we are referring to biometric system, right? It's true that the system should be strong to resist spoofing, yes, but limited data storage requirement is not really too rapid response to system updates. Yeah, it could be rapid, but something happened already. What you do, susceptibility to data theft. That's actually something that we should. Which of the following is an emerging biometric technology mentioned in the presentation? Which of the following is an emerging biometric technology mentioned in the presentation?
I'll say B, voice recognition.
Good, Fred. Isabel?
I would say voice recognition as well.
Yay, good job, guys. How can organizations mitigate biometric challenges related to regulatory compliance?
I'll say B, regularly update biometric systems.
Isabel, want to try something else?
No, that's the most common, It's
Yes. Yes, regularly update biometric system. Yes, let's not just stick to one system and say it's perfect. Update the software, updating, right? What is the purpose of continuous monitoring in the context of biometric systems?
I think it's letter B, identifying and addressing vulnerabilities, because as you said, it could be, even though you might, invest in or do biometrics as, it demands, somebody can, attempt to access your information. So I would say it's letter B.
Okay, good job. What is multi-factor authentication recommended alongside biometric?
I would say it's letter C. It enhances overall security. I mean, it's just like an extra layer of protection.
Okay. Fred, want
I
to add
agree.
something?
I agree with
Yeah.
Isabel.
Good job, guys. What is a common challenge in biometrics due to its interdisciplinary nature?
I think it's letter B, standardization issues, or letter D. Because I think with these we spoke about different fields on the on biometrics.
Exactly. Yes, that was the most difficult one that we had there. Integrating all those concepts, right? How to put that together. Tomorrow we are going to study more about challenges and how can we apply it in our everyday life, right? Good job, guys. I did not pay attention on. Good. Any question before we wrap up?
No, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And no questions here. Thank you again.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Kisbel, for participating. Tomorrow is our last day. Show up, and then I would like to see you tomorrow. Don't just put your camera on.
Okay.
So tomorrow
Okay,
is our
definitely.
last day. Eh?
I said definitely tomorrow I'll have my camera on and off. So yes.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you so much, guys, for participating. Okay, have a good day. See you tomorrow.
Bye
All right.
bye.
Have a good day.
Good
And
night. Bye bye.
bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you.